Yes, lads, what is going on? And welcome back to the YouTube. So, in this week's video, I want to start things off with just a little update on my prep so far. So, we are almost 6 weeks in. It's going to be officially 6 weeks tomorrow. And this week was the first time I've actually started feeling some negative effects of dieting and pushing as hard as I am. And basically, what happened over the last week or so, I've just been fucked. To be honest with you, I've been really tired physically. My body just hasn't been recovering. I've been sore kind of throughout the day, feeling like I could take a nap at any stage of the day. My hunger has been through the roof. My cravings have been a lot higher. My sleep just hasn't been enough. Like, I've actually slept through a couple of my alarms across the week, and just overall recovery has been down, and it's just a sign of, again, body not being as recovered, just kind of lower motivation, body not feeling great. And yet the body just hasn't been able to keep up with the current pace. And in all fairness, like, I have been working really hard, doing my 4 sessions a week, doing 2 boxing sessions, and really one full day of rest per week. And the body has caught up on me. There's just no doubt about it. And what I have done so far to kind of combat this has been a training deload. And essentially what that is me taking half of my volume out from sessions this week. So rather than not completely not training, because I love going to the gym, I want to stay in the gym. What I have done was one set per exercise across the board, and didn't train anywhere near failure. Let's say at about 70, maybe 80%. And the goal of this is to slowly allow the body to recover fully, again, without taking time off training completely. Outside of that, I've done my cardio as usual, and I'm starting to feel a lot better. It's obviously Friday now, so I'm hoping that over the weekend, the next 2 days without any weight training, the body is going to feel a whole lot better again. And outside of that, I have to make some changes moving forward with the setup, because clearly my body is not able to keep up with this pace. And it's completely normal. As your body changes, you drop off the body fat in a diet. Your body's ability to manage load, manage stress, it just drops off a little bit. And this is where I have to make an adjustment to make sure that I can actually keep up moving forward, and not go through another 2 weeks of, let's say, going on like this, and then again having to take a deal up, because that just doesn't make sense. Having to slow down your training every couple of weeks. So what I have done is, going into my back to my full sessions on Monday, what I have done is I've dropped off some of my training volume in my gym sessions. So over the last, like, coming into this training block, I've tried using more of a higher volume training setup, and clearly it just did not work out in my favor. It was just something I haven't done in a very long time, so something I wanted to try. But in the long run, when you are training to failure, when you are training hard, like, I take every single one of my working sets to failure. I don't leave anything in reserve, and it just catches up on you. So what I have done was taken back some of my chest volume from my upper days, and rather than doing 3 sets of chest press, 3 sets of pec deck, I'm dropping those to just 2 sets. So again, that's 2 sets gone. Same goes for my cable rows on my upper days. I've pulled one of those sets out. I'm going to keep my 3 sets on pull-ups, just because I want to continue practicing on those. But again, if it doesn't get any better, I'm going to drop off one of those sets as well. And yeah, I'm dropping off a good bit of volume from the upper. Again, if this does not help in these next couple of weeks and I feel like I'm still struggling to recover, I'm going to look at pulling off a little bit of volume from legs. But for the time being, again, small little adjustments, again, give myself a bit of a chance to recover fully and then get back at it and reassess from there. But that's another thing to touch on is overall recovery, right? And that's something I say to my clients all the time is like, if let's say you go into a new training block and you're working harder than ever and you're making a lot of progress, something that you have to keep in mind is that when you level up your training, let's say, and again, as I said, you're working harder than ever, you also need to level up your recovery. And sometimes it's something as simple as getting your 8 hours of sleep every single night, because your sleep is by far the most important and the best tool for recovery. There's nothing like it. There's no supplement that you can take. There's no treatment you can do, like a massage or anything like that. Like, your sleep is going to be by far the best tool. And if you never fix your sleep, there's none of those things will ever help you. Like, if you have your sleep on point, that is your base for recovery. And then if you're still struggling, you can look at things like, let's say, sports massages or supplements to help with recovery, maybe doing saunas, maybe doing ice baths, as much as those are very much so on the bottom tier of what I would describe as a recovery treatment. They can help. So again, that's something that you really need to focus on. Like, if you've gone into, let's say, if you've gone from, let's say, training 3 times a week and you're now training 5 times a week, you have to remember that now you're taxing your body more and more. So in order for you to keep that up, your recovery capability has to match that. So again, something for you to keep in mind on your own journeys. So yeah, today, as I said, it's Friday. I'm going to go and do my session in the next hour or so. I'm still going to record a podcast for this week, which is going to be all about your environment and how that kind of affects you. So watch the podcast or listen to the podcast. And yeah, I'm going to do my posterior and yeah, I'm going to do my shoulders, arms, hamstrings as well. And one set per exercise, just to allow the body to properly recover. And then we have a busy weekend that I think is going to be a little bit different to the usual, a little bit more interesting than usual, I would say. It's obviously Valentine's Day tomorrow, so we're going out for a meal with Rachel, and then we're possibly doing something else on Sunday as well. So I'm going to show you how I manage a meal out like that on a diet, essentially. Right, lads, what is going on? It is Saturday morning, 1 o'clock. It's not even morning anymore, and I've done my boxing session this morning, and right now we're going to do a quick physique update, obviously on the diet, and see how we're looking. I'm feeling good, feeling very, very lean, especially after the deload. I feel like the look has improved drastically after a few days of rest, so I'm happy out with that. And then after that, we're going to figure out what the story is with food for the day, because it's Valentine's Day and we're going out for a meal, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right, let's see how we're looking. Anyway, I don't know if you can see, but I'm absolutely sweating. I just got out the shower. I swear I'm not sweating after doing a little check-in. But yeah, I'm going to get dressed and we're going to figure out what the story is with food for the day before I have my next meal because I'm absolutely starving. Right, so I have two things open here. First of all, three things actually. First of all, I have my own nutrition plan for the day, which is a rest day. I have 2,385 calories for today. I already had one meal this morning before my boxing session, which was oats, honey, banana, which is a total of 356 calories. So now we are left with one, two, three and a half meals essentially. I have a snack in the evening, so 3 meals and a snack, right? And what I'm doing to figure out, what I'm going to have for my dinner is firstly looking up the menu, okay, of the restaurant. So we're going to a place called Shimmers, besides the Burj Al Arab, which should be very, very nice. Never actually been there before, but it's a Greek type restaurant, and more than likely I'm probably going to have a starter and a main by looking at things here. So already I'm looking at mains to make sure I have a good option here, and I can see grilled chicken souvlaki, whatever that is. I looked it up and I looked up the calories, and on average, with a side of rice, it's going to be between 5 to 700 calories. And when it comes to going out for food, always overestimate how many calories you're going to have, because realistically, in order to cook that meal, the restaurant is going to use extra oils and extra everything to make sure that that food tastes 10 out of 10. So I'm going to guess that this meal alone is going to be 700 calories. So when I look back on my plan, my dinner for the day is going to be supposed to be 650 calories. And if I combine that with my snack, which is 200 calories, that already covers it, and I probably have a little bit more room to spare. So now, looking at the rest of the day, I could very easily have my lunch as usual, and then obviously have my eggs now, and still manage everything very, very easily. Now, considering that I have a little bit to spare here, and potentially we could fit in a bit of a starter here as well. So if I took out 2 slices of bread from my omelette that I'm having from that meal, and another take away the leftover calories that I have from my snack, that brings me to about 250 calories, which means that I could probably share a starter with Rachel. Now, looking at the options here, it's either salads, spreads, or raw stuff, which, to be honest, now looking at this, oh no, sorry, we have other starters here as well. Okay, to be honest, after looking at the starters, I'm not even that pushed on them. I've seen the only thing that I would be interested in is crispy fried calamari, but to be honest, that is probably going to be quite heavy on the calories. But nevertheless, we will look this up and see more or less, how many calories that is, and yeah, estimated calories for that portion is going to be between 6 to 800. So I'm not fitting that in. I would have to leave out a lot of food prior to it, and I'm just not doing that to myself, to be honest. I'd rather just have my normal food, enjoy a meal out, enjoy a main out, and leave it at that, and still stay on point with absolutely everything. So that's the game plan for tonight. I'm going to bring you along with me and show you what the story is, and we'll go from there. Right, so I'm after having that meal, and I feel like I can actually talk properly again. I was absolutely starving. But firstly, on the Physique update, I'm actually really happy after watching back the video.
I am actually really happy with how I'm looking. I think there has been some big improvements made in the last week alone. And I wouldn't mind, like, I was going into this week feeling a bit shit. And I think a lot of it was obviously just being tired, not being fully recovered. And I was looking at myself going, what the fuck? I'm not making any progress here. What do I do and what not? And just getting a bit emotional about it. And I feel like that's where so many people go wrong, where they feel like, right, I'm not making progress, or they get into their head and feel like they actually need to push even more. But again, after resetting a little bit, letting the body rest, it actually nearly took care of itself in a sense. Like I'm finishing the week feeling a lot better in terms of my energy, obviously looking a lot leaner as well. So all around, very, very, very happy with where things are at, and obviously going to get a chance to switch off a little bit more tonight, enjoy that meal, still stay on track with everything, and yeah, and rest up as much as possible.
Maybe it's recording me going. Oh god, no.
I'm gonna bring your arm around.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you're not giving me much room to move.
Just getting too big.
Literally.
Right.
It's my only other space to go around you.
We're at the hotel, as you can see. We're on a little.
I've actually never heard of or been at this hotel. I thought it was the wavy one, the other Jumeirah one.
I'm showing them. Oh,
No way.
we're flying.
Yeah, no, we really are. This dress doesn't do well with wind.
Jesus. Oh my god. It's like fucking going go-karting or something.
Yeah.
It's flying around.
Her?
Oh, look. Yeah, there's an orgy all around.
That's not us.
I don't know.
Oh, here. Oh, wow.